What's up, everybody? This is the third episode of Thought Ops. This is me, Still Biz, Terrence Glave, with my co-host. Look me up on Instagram. Follow, share, and like on YouTube. Look me up on Instagram. My name is Still Biz, STELBIZZ. That's where we promote. That's where we let people know about the show. That's where we look for topics, and that's where we look for guests, because we're gonna have guests next week. This is my co-host.
Hey, how everybody doing? I'm Eric Brazil. Last name is Brazil, like the country, except it has an E at the end. Like I always tell you, you can find my stuff, everything in the credentials, you know.
Yeah,
and that intro wasn't really smooth.
Okay, but we're working on the intro, so we're gonna make sure everything. It was choppy because it was like I just taught myself in a week how to use Premiere because I'm a genius.
No, I'm talking about you leading, coming in.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, the intro just right now, yeah, it wasn't really that smooth. That's because the show is not scripted. It's actually a live show. So,
Live?
Yeah, we're live right now. So right now, we on the air, we live. We just had the lights set up. We had to go, get everything together.
Yeah, we had to do
so,
all that.
we trying to get this show rolling.
Yeah. So, not to interrupt you, but still, how was your week this week?
My week was very interesting. I worked this week. I've been in the gym tough, trying to get myself together, trying to get my fitness in my body, trying to lose some weight. I've been losing a lot of weight, trying to get my mind right. So I've been going to the gym and,
Yeah, I see you cutting down a lot.
Trying to cut down. I do like 2 hours of cardio a day, and then plus weights, and then my meal prepping is. Well, my meal plan, because I don't prep, because I'm at home most of the time. So my meal plan is like pretty good. Trying to get myself back together, trying to get myself back down to where I want to be.
Well, I mean, there's trying and doing, and it looks like you're doing.
And I'm doing it.
You gotta give yourself some credit.
Yeah, I'm trying to give myself some credit. I'm trying to be positive too, trying to keep myself positive. I know today was very interesting. I was having a conversation with somebody. It's funny because it's never like my family, but like friends and and I know I was talking about this like last week. I was talking to somebody and I was asking about, I didn't even ask them. I had no, it was not even part of the conversation. I didn't ask them.
Okay.
I didn't say ask, I said ask. I didn't ask them. And we was having a conversation. They was like, we was just talking about the show, and I was like, yeah, because I said something about da-da-da-da. And they was like,
what is da-da-da?
About something I don't want to say.
Okay.
And they was like, I was watching your show, and, I didn't like it. I don't remember exactly what they said, but it's like, I didn't like your show. And they was like, yeah, I didn't like the whole setup and da-da-da-da. So I'm like, what didn't you like? They was like, well, I only watched 2 minutes of it. But I'm just saying, man, sometimes you gotta do better. We gotta do better because everything starts somewhere. And it's crazy, like when I do my comedy and when the most negative stuff, and never from my family. My family is great, but it's always from like people that I've been knowing people that I know give me the worst. I'm not gonna even say it. They give me the worst energy of stuff that I do, and then people that I don't know you from Adam, be like, "Yo, that's great," because you just have to start thinking like I don't do everything for everybody. I do this stuff for the people that actually appreciate it, because not all my friends are like that, and not all the people that I know are like that. Because you're gonna find, but sometimes those one negative things and the one instance that you have with stuff like that, it's just. Because it's like social media. Like, you'll see like 50 comments online about how great you are, and then you see one and be like, man.
See, but that's where you fail, because you're paying attention to that 1%. It's just like sometimes, I mean, you gotta look at it like this. People are gonna have their opinion, and you can't change people's opinion. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just dwell on that 1%. You gotta. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning that as well too.
Not off no damn 2 minutes. You watch a show for 2 minutes, and then you like your whole instance, your whole that shit. I'm trying not to curse, but that, but that don't even make no that makes no sense. Like you watch something for 2 minutes, you like, well, I don't like this, and it made me feel like, what is your intent in telling me this right the day you know that I'm about to go do the show? That's why sometimes I just be like, man, I'll just keep stuff to my damn self and keep this stuff like this internet stuff with people that I don't know.
Well, see, now you had your solution. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, so, but I did. Like the conversation wasn't even about the show. The conversation was about, you know, like I don't even remember what we was talking about. Because I remember, like, when I used to do comedy, I remember, like, one of my frat brothers came to my show, and he was trying to steal my whole production team. You know what I'm saying? He was talking, like, my manager, like, yo, so she was like, so Terry's gonna come do the show, and he was like, nah, he not gonna do the show. We gonna use you to come. Like, man, that's why when I be doing stuff like this, man, I be reaching out to people I don't even know.
Well, that's why you need to recognize who's not for you and who's against you.
But the thing is, recognizing that is in those instances, because before then you would think. But I just thought that was whack, and I just think it's whack when people act like that, when people just like. Don't be, because you don't have to be, you can have constructive criticism, but don't take 2 minutes to do something. Don't watch me for 2 minutes and then you have constructive criticism or you have an opinion about what I'm doing.
I can agree on that, but you know, hey, what can you do? You're not going to stop doing what you're doing.
No, I ain't going to stop doing what I'm doing, but I just feel like you just gave me hot topic. So, you know, you just gave me something to talk about.
But you just got to keep it moving.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, but that's just how we are. Like sometimes and I don't want to make it about race, but
first episode.
I don't want to make it about race. I don't want to make it about race because I'm not another race. I'm black. So these are the people that I'm dealing with. But a lot of times the worst reaction I get when doing stuff like this is from like people that look just like me, and I'll be like, that's kind of whack. But then the best reaction I get is from people that look just like me too. It sounded
kind of familiar, like the first episode. No, we're not gonna go back.
Okay, yeah. So. I mean, but it's people that, but I get. So I don't hold it to race. But I'm just saying, sometimes we just gotta do better. Because if I feel like if I feel like when I first started at the gym and I went back to the other gym, it's some dude. He looked like he one step away from just falling over. He fat as hell. Just looked like he just like everything falling off. But he came up to me and was like, since you ain't been coming to Lifetime, you done gained all this dang on weight. And just like coming like dude, like first of all, you like 60 something, you retired, and you look like you like a Twinkie away from just passing out. You look like your blood sugar like about 300, your blood pressure like about 197 over 93. But I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, like, this what you look like. You're not a judge of health. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You don't look like the epitome of health. So this first, but look, he wants to come. You're an older black man, and I'm saying I'm a younger black man, which is I'm not like super young. You know what I'm saying? But look. Hey, but you know what I'm saying? He came up to me.
Look. Do you need a hug?
No, I don't need a hug. But I'm just saying. But sometimes we do other people a disservice. You know what I'm saying? When we do stuff like that, the first thing he came to me, he was like, "You done put a lot of weight since you left Lifetime, nigga." That's why I'm at the gym, because I'm trying to get rid of this weight. So now that I'm like, get myself, but he avoids me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we put all this negative energy, because if I'm like around like a younger somebody that look just like me, and it's like I try to pour like positive energy into them if I'm having a conversation with them.
You have to realize that you're a different person, though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are just not comfortable.
Well, I'm gonna start doing what I used to do. I'm gonna start cussing people the hell out, like I used to do back in the day, and be ignorant. But I'm too old for that. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
so now I just got to ignore you. Like I do. Like sometimes when I get done with my workout and I go to the sauna and I see it, I'm like, oh, bunch of bad energy in here. Let me just go home. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta avoid certain things.
I just don't know what I see what you're saying, but you just got to have, sometimes you just have to consider the source, and just stay away from that type of energy.
No,
I know it's easier said than done.
And it's not that I'm saying, because when I was in that instance and I was just looking at him when he was saying that, the respect for somebody that's about to croak and as old as him came in my head from what my father taught me. Like this man is casket ready. So, you don't want to disrespect somebody that old. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but sometimes, sometimes you just don't, if you feel like somebody's being disrespectful to you, just walk away. I mean, you don't have to engage in the conversation.
I didn't engage. I ended up walking away, but I was like, damn, that was messed up. Like,
but sometimes people just talking. They just don't know what they saying. I mean, not saying it's right.
Now when you that,
but I understand your frustration. I mean, you know,
no, I wasn't. I don't want to say I was frustrated, but it's just like.
Well, I mean, I understand.
But I recognize.
Yeah. So you're not gonna ask me how my week was.
I was just about to be like, dude, how was your week? Like, I really was like, I swear, dude, you're gonna have to stop. You do that every week. Like, you wasn't gonna say, yeah, how was your week, man? Let me ignore you. It's not in my iPad. Yeah, like, what's the topic? But go ahead, how was your week?
Man, my week was pretty, I don't know, man. It's just being a grown up, that's all.
Okay, going to take care of your son.
This ain't, when I was younger, this is not what I had as my idea of me being a grown up. You know, when you young, you like, oh, I can't wait to be grown. Like, nah, no, this is not. But, I kind of had like, I don't want to say run-ins with people like you have this week or whatever, but one thing I do not like is like me having to dumb myself down just because of other people's personality. A lot of times I get tired of being the bigger person, and I get tired of being like, well, you know how that person is, that's that person's personality. And it's like, nah, I shouldn't have to dumb myself down and just ignore how they are talking to me and treat me. Just
are you talking about me?
No, but I was talking about y'all, let you know. But you know what I'm saying? Just because that's their personality. But I'm kind of like, I feel like you, like, hey, if I got to deal with your personality, you got to deal with my personality too. Right. So I'm just tired of dumbing myself down and, being the bigger person just so I won't have no type of confrontation and argument. Them days is over with, So I'm big on respect and treating people how I would like to be treated. So I expect the same thing in return. And that's how we doing things for 2023.
Yeah, and you know what? As far as like what I talked about earlier, like there's two sides to every story, but I'm the one with the podcast, so I can tell my side. What you gonna tell yours at? Where you go text people, or you gonna get like with a group?
Man,
but yeah. So I guess we have like came to the conclusion that we got to get to the point where we just got to not just be the bigger person, but just like avoid and talk to like therapists, and because
therapy really helps.
Because we both crazy.
Yeah.
We both crazy. Really so what this week we have topics and we have like different things. I know I do want to say one thing though. I do want to talk about what happened with Ralph Yarl. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
I think Yarl.
Ralph Yarl, the young boy that went on the old man. He was 84 years old. His name is Andrew Lester. He went on his porch just looking for his little brother. Went to the wrong address. Dude just started shooting and shot him twice. Tried to make sure he was dead. Now you see stuff like that. You don't want to make it about race, right? You don't want to make it about race. You don't want to. You don't want to make it about race. But then I looked at his. Did you see the interview with his grandson? With his grandson, it's like this is the bad psychology that we learn in the world. I don't want to say America because a lot of things is based on color. Mm-hmm. It's based on color. And his grandson gave a very good interview talking about how his grandfather's a racist. His grandfather was like a big time Trump supporter. His grandfather was like one of those people that felt that, black people were a certain way. And, he talked about how he was.
And looking at his grandson, just from the video.
I think he's biracial.
Yeah, okay. You would tell that his
he
probably went through a whole bunch of stuff
with his grandfather.
So, he probably wasn't even too much surprised about.
Because I know certain biracial people that went through a lot of stuff with like the white side of their family, or even the black side of their family. I know because it's very different. I'm not saying they're different; they're not black, but from having biracial friends and having people and knowing people like that are biracial, their stories of being black is so different than my story. Yeah, and their stories are so different than each other's stories. Yeah. And it's dependent on like parents. Yeah. It's dependent on like family, environment and like and how we treat them and how they're treated by whites as well too. Like they have like it's a very interesting story on how their personal development in life is.
And some people that I know that's biracial, whatever, it's like, hate on both sides. You know, the white side and the black side. So you know, a lot of people, you know, the white side feel like, you know, they're black. You know, black side don't feel like they're black enough. Yeah. So it's just a lot of. I'm pretty. I don't want to, you know, speak for nobody because I'm not in nobody's shoes or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's kind of, you know, rough.
I know biracial people that would be like, I really don't like white people and because of what they went through. Then I know biracial people that be like, I embrace both sides, and I know biracial people that be like, I'd rather be more with the white side of my family. I'm going to marry white. I know these people. Like, I know all of these people, and it's based on their experiences, and that creates a psychology within them.
And a lot of it has to deal with the complexion too.
That too. Like, our complexion means so much. I remember being treated bad when I first moved to America because I was dark. I remember I had this friend named Brian, and like all the girls used to be like, "Oh, Brian," and they'd be like, "Get your black butt out of there." Plus, I was a little fat kid too, so it was like, it was kind of like it was. I remember they used to like him because he was light skinned, and I was loved.
But once New Jack City came out,
it was over. And I went to high school, lost all the weight. You know what I'm saying? I went from 380 to, I'm gonna put them pictures up too because I'm proud of myself because I'm doing it again. But I went from like 380 to like, I look like Biggie, and then I went down to like 165. I got so small. My friends was like, "Dude, you getting too small, bruh." Like you said, I was like, they like
that's when your head started getting big too.
Yeah, my head when they're like, dude, you started to look like a you about to topple over, brother. Yeah, but yeah, I remember back in them days. So I mean, the grandson, talk about the grandfather being a racist. That's crazy.
I mean, you already knew what it was with that story. So, it's just that's the world we live in nowadays. So. Yeah. So, any other topics?
No, it ain't nothing else that really like stood out. I mean, well, Jonathan Majors a little bit. Like, I'm very. This is sad, but I'm very like dry on the topic because you see this all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, somebody get big in Hollywood, and then Hollywood devours them. And then I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist because it's like a lot of people, I see that online a lot. A lot of people like, well, he didn't want to play the game, and now he don't want to play the game, so they just like threw out, you know, because I just want to see how it plays out. Yeah, this is my thing. This is my thing. I want to see how it plays out. She said that he put hands on her. I know that a lot of people want me to say I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. I don't know. I ain't got it. I don't know the answer. I want to see how this plays out. She said, you know, now there's more people, because you know how it's always like that. When you do something in Hollywood, it's always like, well, he did the same thing to me too. Yeah, and then it'd be somebody that's like, well, hey, you know, I's the pappy. You know, like people coming out the network or just coming out of anywhere, just like, he did the same thing to me. He did the same thing to me. So it's a whole bunch of different people like saying, a lot of different women saying that this guy actually has anger issues. And there are, I mean, I don't know if this is like a setup, this is like a shakedown. And then sometimes there are people that are actual assholes.
Yeah,
like there are people.
This also, I mean, I don't want to victim shame. I'm not, you know, I'm not picking sides, choosing sides or whatever, but seeing situations like this, you have to really be careful with everything that you do nowadays, because you never know what you did in the past, or you know what might pop up, you know, once you reach a certain level or whatever. So you really have to be
very mindful,
very aware of what you're doing, who you're around, who you're dealing with as well. So
and it's kind of like, because your past becomes who you are, because it's like a lot of people can't really, they be putting up tweets from like look at what Terrence said. I'm like, I was 12. You know what I'm saying? They put up stuff that you did when you was like a little kid. So it's kind of like you have to be very mindful of the things that you do. But it wasn't that long ago. I see, I'm not too familiar with it because I try to ignore it, because even though I paid attention to it, but I try to ignore most because I want to see how it plays out. Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't want to be such a judge on this.
Yeah, but it's just so crazy how like you just get to a certain level, then just like everything just avalanche just.
But it doesn't happen to everyone.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
because I see a lot of that where they be like, well, every time, because I had a conversation with somebody where it's like, every time a black man then it's just like they always, and it never happened to Denzel. There was never any scandals about Denzel. It never, and I know people go get mad, but it does happen. But it doesn't happen. It never happened to who else blew up like really big and just like continuously. I mean, it did happen to Cosby, but then there is like, I'm not even gonna say allegations because he did time for it. So there was a court case on Bill Cosby. Let me see that. Who else spiraled down after they made it big? Well, Michael. They had Michael with the little boys. Never R. Kelly. The R. Kelly thing, man, I'm sorry. Like, it was a tape. Like, we knew R. Kelly was on that R. Kelly was doing that when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, so the R. Kelly thing, when people be like, man, R. Kelly ain't do it, I'm like, dude, you watched the tape. You had the tape at your house.
The one thing I don't like.
Go ahead.
The thing I don't like about the R. Kelly thing is like how people try. I look at it like I'm looking at it from my point of view as me being a grown man. A lot of people, try to blame the parents, like, well, the parents brought their daughters around R. Kelly, but you being a grown man, you know right from wrong. Even, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if you followed it too tough now.
But
some of those parents need to be blamed. They have like evidence where there's conversations where some of the mothers are telling the daughters.
But you being a grown man,
no, he's wrong. And and whatever happens to him should happen to him. But but the thing about it is, I do get the point of somebody, because there is new. Jocelyn? What's her name? I can't remember her name. One of the mothers. They have like that was in the R. Kelly Surviving R. Kelly series. They have like new evidence of her coercing her daughter into doing things with R. Kelly. Now, he should know better because he's a grown man, but her mother needs to be liable too.
I don't care if you coerce, rehearse,
reverse. I get what you're saying. He should.
Him being the entertainer, the grown man in the situation, that this type of stuff is going to be brought to you. But no matter how it is presented to you.
But
you should be able, as a grown man, to control yourself.
Do you understand that I'm not disagreeing with you?
I understand that, but I'm not. Well, I don't know if I'm disagreeing with you or whatever, but it's just like, no matter what, you should be able to control it. Yeah. If you can control yourself, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the mothers I don't know how many mothers was doing stuff, but it's like I get it when I don't get it when people like take all the blame away from him though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he a grown man, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was R. Kelly was R. Kellying.
It ain't funny.
He was. Yeah, I'm just saying. Now we got some good topics today. We gotta get these topics in the bowl, mix them up, pick a topic. Pick what we gonna do. So who gonna pick the topic? Did I pick the topic last?
No, I picked last week. So
no, I did. I picked last week.
No, I picked last week, bro. I picked.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Because you picked the first episode.
So I gotta pick. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you gotta pick. So last week we tackled the topic. Was it love versus being? Love versus
love and basketball. No, it was love versus being raised by love.
Yeah, being raised by love versus survival.
Survival. So it was kind of like survival of the richest.
So if you haven't checked out episode 2, that's what we tackled. And so the remaining topics that we have for this week is hip hop and its adverse effects on the black community, celebrity drama and how it consumes the general population. Some of what we just kind of covered before.
Say them slower so I can put them across that screen. So,
do hip hop. You want me to redo this?
Yeah.
Okay. Hip hop and its adverse effects on the black community.
Yes.
Celebrity drama and how it consumes the general population. That's a little enough.
Yeah.
And the last topic is different sources of bullying. So I already got the pre-made numbers.
So I'm gonna close my eyes.
I'm gonna ball them up. So I'm throwing.
I'm almost done with this book too. Yeah.
God,
Cuba,
man, I don't want to see this book. Man, edit this out.
Yeah, no. This book, I'm about to be finished with this book real soon. Next week. Look how all of this is notes. So I only got this much left to read. So I'm gonna be finished with this book pretty soon. Each one teach. Hey, y'all should be reading too. Reading is fundamental.
Hey, just to let you guys know, I have some tea off to the side. So if you see me move off to the side, I'm sipping my tea. I don't want to drink it and then spill it all over me and be embarrassed.
But that would be funny if you did.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be embarrassed.
Did you throw all three of them in there?
Yes.
Here we go.
Which topic you think you're gonna pick? And the topic will be, for this episode,
the topic is Cuba and American history.
Oh,
no, I'm
leaving the show.
The topic is 3.
Different sources of bullying. I told you he was going to pick that.
Yeah, it's always funny because it's like, so different sources of bullying. Like, let's see how this actually goes. Because you're talking about different sources of bullying. This is one of the area topics. But, this is my topic? Oh, yeah, it was my topic. Okay, so different sources of bullying is we could go back to the person that texted me and said that he didn't like my show. That's bullying. No, I'm joking. That ain't bullying.
I'm just vibing off of what you said.
No, that ain't bullying. Different sources of bullying. We talking about like people bully on the internet, people bully at jobs, people bully.
Yeah, and I don't think people really actually. I think when people hear bullying, they automatically think of like being bullied in school, and like you said, people could be bullied by
their
job, their employer,
employees
on the internet, family. People don't realize that family, do a lot of bullying as well. Yeah, so
bully at school, but bullying sometimes have a very adverse effect on people because it makes some people want to commit suicide. Like a lot of that have happened. Mm-hmm. I remember being younger. Oops, my bad. I remember being younger, and when I was like I was talking about before, like when I was like very big, I used to get bullied. And
so when you say bully, cause
they used to pick on me like you fat, you but I would react. I wasn't like no punk, but like they'll tease me. So it didn't hurt me to the point where, because a lot of kids used to get picked on tough, they get beat on and stuff like that. Yeah, I never got that, but it's like, but when I like became different, and when I started like. When I like lost weight and I became a different person, but I'm still the same person, it kind of made me turn into a bully a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like started making fun of people and like started making people feel bad. And I do want to apologize to anybody I ever made feel bad because of what I've done.
So basically, you was projecting.
I was projecting what had happened, and then a lot of it too was kind of like I started hanging with these people that used to like make fun of me, and now I'm a part of them. It's kind of like y'all way more insecure than I ever was.
So was you doing this more to fit in with them? Like, hey, I'm hanging with them now, so.
I was talking about them too, though. I was talking about everybody. Yeah. But yeah, it is a fit-in thing because it's a defense mechanism because when you are comedic and when you talk like that, when you like always make everything a joke, you don't really have to make people get to know you for real. Yeah. All they have to know is that side of you. Mm-hmm. So it was probably like a pushback but it's an entertainment thing too, because it makes people want to be around you, and sometimes I remember I used to talk and do stuff like that, but I never felt that it would have such a negative effect on people. But then I look back and I'm like, that was messed up. And I remember when I went from 380 to 175, and I saw this girl. She was like, "Well, you could lost all the weight in high school. What was wrong with you? You got so mean." She was like, and she kept saying it. Jim, I was like, "Man," she was like, "What's wrong with you?" You know what I wanted to tell her? I was hungry. Like I was hungry as hell. That was what's wrong with me.
So you was hangry.
I was hangry. Like I stopped eating. Like to get that small, yeah, you gotta be eating lettuce
Well, I mean, as far as me and bullying goes, I can't. When I saw the topic, I was trying to think about things that happened in my life where, especially, I don't know, but it always goes back to school, and I don't remember like people getting bullied in school or nothing like that because I mean, we roasted, so it's just like we was just like, hey, if you talk about me, I'm talking about you back. So it was just like you just had to be quick on your toes with the jokes.
But what about those people that didn't have that personality?
I don't remember. Truthfully, I don't remember seeing that. I mean, I know times where it might have went too far. It led to a fight.
Yeah.
But you
went to public school?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I used to get talked about because I'm short. But I mean, I was quick on my toes with the jokes though. So it was just like, I mean, that stuff didn't bother me or whatever. But as far as being bullied, I just don't.
That was kind of funny. You quick on your toes, you short, and it's like your toe. You right there. Your head is close to your toes. So.
Now, I've experienced maybe some bullying at work where maybe you trying to move up, get a promotion or whatever, and your boss is like, hey, you trying to force you to work overtime and. Try to force you to do things that you typically don't want to do or give you more work than, somebody else, but you want to prove yourself and everything. I look at that as
I remember one time
as a source of bullying as well.
I remember one time I was at work and it was like I was at this company I used to work for and we were in this one I used to smoke cigarettes. And we was in the smoke hut.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, all right, but we was in the.
Was you smoking like?
Yeah, we was in the smoke hut.
Hold on, no, time out. How was you holding the cigarette?
I smoked Newport, so I was holding it cool.
Like you like
this? I was like this. I was smoking cool because I smoked Newports. So,
you was smoking like this.
So I'm smoking my Newport. You know what I'm saying? And they're smoking Marlboros, and they were talking, and this one young lady I knew, and she was like, "Yeah, we were listening to a song that had the N-word in there," and she said the N-word, nigga. She said nigga. So
that's how she said it.
She said nigga. And I was like, and then the other people they was white too. They were white too.
You didn't state what ethnicity she was.
Yeah, they were white. Like they were all white. And then then I told her like, yo, don't say that, and then she's like, I'm not like that. And then they was like, oh my God, don't say that. And then I'm like trying to explain to her. And I explained to her that, so we went inside. She was about to cry. Like when I was explaining to her, like, you can't really say that because I'm trying to help you because it could be somebody else in the future. And she was like, I'm not like, she turned it around on me. So I was like, you know what? We can't even finish this conversation because you turned it on me. So if I ever have a conversation with you again, it got to be people around. So I was like, I wasn't about to tell on her. I was just like, so after that happened, it was like everybody that she rolled with, they all used to look at white dudes, white girls. They all used to look at me like they wanted to fight me after that.
So you felt bullied?
It was fake bully. They were all corny, but it was like they wanted to bully me. They wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but she wrong. So it was like, but I remember that they were attempting to bully me. But you can't bully me because I wasn't really around none of y'all anyway. The only reason I knew y'all is because I used to smoke Newports in the smoke hut. Yeah. But I didn't know y'all. Yeah, but that was work bullying.
Yeah, I mean, but like other things too that I haven't experienced, or you could just read about or hear about. Like I said, family bullying. Parents bullying their kids to do something that they don't want to do, like go to college. It could be their sexuality.
That's not really bullying. That's gaslighting.
Here you go with this word.
Because did you read the book that I read?
But I mean, people. You don't think that people's parents could?
That's bullying. But
it's like you might have somebody that might not want to go to college or something like that, and their parents is just on their back, like, oh, you have to go to college. But I've been saving up ever since you was 4 or 5 years old. You're going to college.
That is bullying, and it's gaslighting too, because gaslighting is trying to make you believe.
You just like using that word, gaslighting.
Well, because gaslighting is because it is gaslighting. Because gaslighting is trying to make you.
I'm tired of hearing that word.
Okay,
that and woke. Go ahead.
Woke is different. Woke is very annoying, and good. I don't even want to talk because then people gonna be hating me. Well, some of these words that the dumbest people find these words that are like catchwords, these words that are just like, what's the word? What my frat brother, one of my favorite frat brothers, Melvin, he always say, what did he be calling them? Oh my God, he gonna watch the show and be like, dude, it's what did he say the words are? Like catch, I don't know what they're called.
Hey, but, Melvin, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. But the word, I can't remember what the word is, but they're like those words that people say, and they are very annoying, like woke.
Because they don't know that they just use it
because some of the dumbest people use those words.
So basically, they just using it because everybody else uses it,
and they use it because they see it, and it's so conversational. Because if somebody else is making you see something out of something that you can't even see yourself, it's just a weird conversation to have.
Okay, so back to the bullying.
Okay, bullying, yeah. So what was I saying about the bullying? You were saying
said that when I was saying that parents forcing their kids to go to college, you said that can't be bullying.
No, I changed it though. I'm saying that is actual bullying, but it's gaslighting too, because they want you to believe that your reality is their reality. And they want you to believe that.
Yeah, but I mean, well, yeah, I can see that, but at the same, but it's still, but if it's something that you really honestly don't, and just say that you do it because you don't want to disappoint your parents.
My parents never bullied me to go to college. They was like, they said, my parents said, because you know they're Jamaican, they said, if you don't want to go to college, you're not gonna get no job. So go to college. So I guess that is, they did bully me a little bit. But I had great parents though, like, but I guess they did bully me though and gaslight me into going to college. Yeah, but I'm glad they did.
But I mean, you have some people that's just not, built or just don't want to go to school.
What about parents that's bullying them not to go to college? I know a young lady.
Okay, I gotta hear this story.
No, she's like, she got accepted to Columbia, and her parents don't want her to go to college. Okay. Columbia is like Ivy League.
Yeah. So what's the?
I don't know the whole story though, but I just know. But somebody was telling me the story about it, and I hope they don't watch this because they're like, "Man, you telling all their business." But I didn't say who it was. But yeah, so
take me out.
Yeah.
But I mean, there can be reasons that parents might not want their.
I heard the reason, but I can't remember. I can't remember totally, but it was something stupid that they didn't want her to go to college because it was like full ride too. It's like they didn't even have to pay for it. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, bullying, and that's bullying. They bully this girl that is not going to school.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't. I'm kind of like flabbergasted at that.
I'm not, because you live long enough, stuff like that happens. You know what I'm saying? You live long enough, stuff like that actually does happen. So I don't think that's like so far fetched. Like there are people that don't believe in higher education and they don't want their kids to participate in higher education because they feel like I don't know what religion they are. I don't understand the situation, but they feel like that higher education is going to turn them into somebody else that they didn't want their child to be.
Now, I'm about to tell you a story, and my family know about this story too, about how, like I told last episode, I told everybody about my relationship with my father, and me and my father, we really got into a argument. Like I had to talk to him like he was
after the last episode.
No. This was a situation. I had to talk to him like he was like dude on the street because he disrespected me, and the reason why I know people about to laugh because he tried to bully me into eating some macaroni and cheese.
Okay, how old were you?
This was like 2 years ago.
Oh wow, who cooked it though?
One of my family members cooked it, but. A lot of people know during the summertime. We was at my sister's house. We had a cookout. My sister was having a cookout, and people know how how I eat. I eat kind of healthy and everything.
Kinda.
So, but at this time I was on a diet. Okay, so I sit there and I made my plate. And one of my family members asked me like, "Oh, you're not eating no macaroni and cheese?" And I was like, "No, I'm not eating that right now because I'm on a diet." So then my father chimes in like, oh, what you mean you're not eating no macaroni? He was kind of like gaslighting too.
Yeah.
He's like, what you mean you're not eating?
You
no
know
macaroni?
you like it.
Yeah. It was
that's
like you've been eating it ever since
you was a little kid. That's gaslighting.
Yeah. And I was like, well, yeah, I know, but I said right now I'm not eating it because I'm on a diet or whatever. So then, like, my dad, I don't know what, he started going on this tangent. I don't know what his problem was. He was like, oh, because I've injured my back at work or whatever. So, you know, once you injure your lower back, you always have lower back problems. So he was like, oh, you go around here eating healthy and doing all this working out and everything, but you always complaining about your back hurting all the time or whatever. So I'm like, whatever. You know, out of respect, because it's my father, I just kept my mouth shut. So he was like, yeah, you know, you scared to eat some macaroni and cheese and everything, but, you know, all that healthy stuff you put in your body, you don't know what you putting in your body. And I was like, well, I kind of do research about what I eat, how I eat, you know, why I eat the certain stuff or whatever. But me and him got into a full-fledged argument to the point where, and it was bad because I knew I was about to just go off, and out of respect for my father and my family, I told my sister, I said, hey, I'm just about to leave or whatever just to alleviate this problem. And so it was other people around other than my family, like friends and stuff like that. So I got up to leave. I told my family, like, hey, I'm leaving or whatever. And so at the time, my dad let me borrow a ladder. And so he was like, yeah, and I need my ladder back. And when I come to your house, you better have my ladder. That's when I popped off on my father. And I told him, like, hey, you ain't going to be disrespecting me, talking to me like, I said, I'm not going to say what I said. Yeah, I'm not going to say, but it's just like, you got mad at me and try to bully me into eating some macaroni and cheese just because I'm looking out for my body and I want to eat healthy. So it's just like certain situations, it's just like, and I try to alleviate the situation. I try to leave.
Yeah.
But
because it's your dad, so
yeah.
And I can't tell somebody how to deal with their parents because it's like sometimes I'll be like, I have had people be like, man, I don't want to talk to my parents, I don't want to talk to my dad, and I'll be like, I be thinking about my relationship with my parents, like, my relationship with my parents is awesome. Like, you have to talk to your parents, but then that's not realistic, though.
Yeah, you got to put yourself in nation. You know, everybody don't have that type of relationship.
Yeah, everybody don't have that type of relationship. No, I started doing that after I got older.
Yeah,
I remember like friends that would be like, man. You know, and I'd be like, nah, you gotta love your parents. And I'm speaking naively and speaking only based off how I have interactions with my parents. And that don't even make no dang on sense because it's like, no, this person is going through something else. With their parents are bums. Their parents are like some people don't have no business having kids. And I'm not saying that's your dad. I'm just talking about like some people that I knew like growing up, like their parents were like bums. They were bums. They had.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of bummy parents out there.
Yeah, like really dusty, bummy parents that just have no business having children. But yeah, that's our next episode. Bummy, dusty parents.
So, how do you feel about bullying when it comes to the internet, social media, stuff like that?
I feel like we stuck with it. I feel like it's a big part of the culture now. I feel like just like you were talking about it kind of bleeds into the other question about the internet and celebrities. Like people like, dude, I swear, I was on TikTok one night and I had posted something about, because y'all know I do little videos and whatever, and I was talking about Tekashi, and it was like a lot of comments. It was like a lot of comments on TikTok. And then I started noticing like I was getting bullied. Like, you don't know nothing about this rap game. It's like, dude, you don't. It's like, I'm like, when I see people do stuff like that, I always go through their pictures, and I'm like, you look like you sleep on an air mattress, like your house dusty as hell. Like I always go through like their bummy life, and then
that's your word for the name.
Yeah, I always go through their lack of motivating life and just how unkept everything around them is. And I'll be like, man, but they be on there. Man. But a lot of times you start realizing it ain't even about me. Yeah. It's about whatever this person is going through, whatever is going on with this person. Because this about this air mattress. Their air mattress busted. so they. But there's a lot of people that be bullied on the internet too. A lot of people.
But I think
people make fake pages just to bully.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to the internet, I mean, when we was growing up, hey, somebody got bullied, it was just in that little small area. But nowadays, you know, people could get bullied, and you open yourself up to hundreds and thousands of people or whatever. So I mean, mentally, I know that it's real straining when it comes to some individuals are strong enough to deal with it, some are not.
Yeah, some people have actually committed suicide off being internet bullied, and that's crazy. But it happens because you never. My father always tell me, you never know how people are going to take certain things. So watch what you say to people. Because you don't know how they're dealing. Like he would always call his grandkids and be like, yo, I'm just making sure my grandkids is all right, because you never know how life on what they're, because nowadays crazy.
Yeah. And like I work for a school district, so I'm around kids every day, all day, every day, and
they weird.
It's kind of. It's like, because I'm around like elementary school
I didn't mean
kids.
to say weird. I'm just saying they're built different than we were.
Yeah, but I'm around like elementary school kids up to high school kids, and I see the kids out at recess, and I see some of the kids that just be playing by themselves, and I be feeling real like I feel like ever since I had my son, I'm like more sensitive and more emotional to things, especially when it comes to kids. So I be feeling bad. Like I be seeing these kids like playing by themselves and going on, and like they don't have they look like they don't have no friends, and I just be feeling like terrible. And when I talk to my son, I always tell my son, like, for one, I better not catch you bullying nobody. That's not, there's difference between you telling jokes with your friends or whatever, but I don't want to ever catch you or hear about you bullying anybody. I'm like, if you see kids, by themselves or whatever, at least try to introduce yourself. I'm not saying you got to be their best friend, because a lot of times people just don't click like that. Yeah, but I'm like, at least give them the proper respect and talk to them, and introduce yourself, and even if you guys don't click on a certain level, whatever, and they are being bullied or whatever, at least stop. Stop it, and don't pile on, because you don't know what this kid is going through. You don't know what their home life look like.
Yeah, I know people that got bullied when I was younger, and they end up committing suicide. Yeah, and I know people that have said they wanted to commit suicide because of how people bullied them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. You don't never know what somebody going through. Yeah. Just like, when that dude came up to me at the gym and talked about how fat I was, he didn't know what I was going through. And I'm just playing. Like, I ain't really care. He looked like... Yeah,
but a lot of people just don't have your... a lot of people just don't have your mindset,
Yeah, because I could look surpass certain stuff, and some people that can't look, they just like, they get hurt easy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man. Bullying was a great topic.
Yes, it was.
The show was a great show.
Yeah, so don't be out there bullying people, man.
Now remember, follow me on Instagram, StillBiz. We've been posting the video on 2 different channels. We've been posting on my channel, Terrence Glaive, and we've been posting it on the Thought Ops channel as well, too, because we're trying to get like double exposure. But we're trying to move more of it over to the Thought Ops page. This is Eric Bazell. What's your Instagram?
EJBRIZZ. Yeah. All right. And you know what, man? It costs nothing to like. Share. It costs nothing to share. It costs nothing. Nothing out your pocket
to subscribe.
So I mean, it's easy. I mean, there's nothing. All they push. Yes. I mean, you could swipe all day. I mean, you could push
the button. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the 3rd episode of Thought Ops. Bullying. That was a good topic. And next episode, we're going to have more topics. We're going to add some to the bunch.
He said we having some guests.
We're going to try to have some guests, too. We're about to start having guests on the show. So guests who coming on the show, some guests. And you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a guest on the show, let me know. And I'm going to go through your profile and make sure you don't sleep on the air. No, I'm just playing. I'm going to go through your profile and see what it is that you might, what you're going to bring to the show. And then we're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk. And then, we can come on the show as well. So, Thought Ops, 3rd episode. Peace.
Soundstripe.